So you're going to be the first one on this podcast where I actually tell them when I'm recording.
Okay.
I am recording now.
Okay. All right.
I usually try to keep it like loose and fun.
Yeah.
You know, like just
Yeah.
like let it flow.
Yeah, no,
But like we were saying with the homies, shout out over there.
Yeah.
I already forgot your name again. I'm sorry. No, we don't want to put it. I mean, we'll beep that out, dude. Edit that out. We'll bleep it out. Don't worry about it. We won't cross promote. It's cool. But we're over here at the bakery.
Yeah.
We could say your name though, because we're OCM compliant.
Yes. Yes.
Mike over at the bakery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You told us to go to Latham Bakery. Sorry, I'm just messing with the mic a little bit. Trying to be as professional as possible here, Mike.
Latham Bagel Shop.
Latham Bagel Shop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Good
I'd
stuff
give
over
it.
there.
We usually try not to do the ratings.
Yeah.
But I would give it a 8.5 out of 10.
Wow, that's a good one.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty
and
good.
I got it not on the bagel, too.
You got it on the hard
I got it
roll?
on the hard roll.
Yeah.
Which I was extremely, extremely impressed.
You know, the staff here is like mixed. They do the hard
About
roll.
Latham Bagel?
No, the bagel or the hard roll. The bagel or the hard roll. Yeah. So half of us do like the bagel, the other half does a hard roll.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a bagel guy, so yeah.
Dude, you got to get the hard roll.
I don't know. I just can't do it.
Why?
Yeah. I could do like
Because
a
of the bagels in the name?
Yeah.
Are you a
and-
brands man? You're all about the brand and the name?
Yeah. I'm also.
I can tell by the shelf selection.
Yeah, the shelves. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Yep.
Yep.
No, small mom and pop all the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, farm to table.
Would you say Bella Napoli is mom and pop?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah,
Interesting.
I would say they're probably a bigger mom and pop. I mean, they've been around forever. So.
You know what's funny is like sometimes if I have to go to Walmart,
Yeah.
or like these big places, I get high and I just get scared.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like the lights in there. You know, I'm just
Walmart
like,
can
I
be
gotta get outta
scary,
here.
man. Walmart can be scary.
Do you
you never know what you're gonna see there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
When was the last time you went to a buffet to eat dinner?
Wow. I don't even know.
Exactly. It's because
Yeah.
you're a good person.
Yeah.
This is something I've learned about myself. I went to a buffet. I was, ups and downs, right? Shout out the cannabis industry for having to be on the books, off the books. I've had ups and downs, and sometimes I'll catch myself at some buffet somewhere eating dinner, you know what I mean? And I'll just start looking around, and I'm just like,
watching.
oh my God,
Yeah.
like this is America type of thing. And then I look at myself, and that's when it gets scary.
Yeah.
I go, I'm a part of this. This is me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You're part of the problem. Yeah, it's all
100%.
good.
I just gotta wipe myself off and get back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, smoke another one and eat some more. That's it.
This was years ago, Mike. Now we're clean cut.
Oh, you're clean cut now.
I try to be.
No more buffets.
I love how you just go, oh, you try to be clean cut when you know that I'm not.
Yeah.
I get laughed out of Napoli, Bella Napoli.
No, what,
Dude.
you asked for a bacon, egg, and cheese.
I asked for a bacon, egg, and cheese at 12:30,
and
and
they
they
laughed at
reminded me. Yeah. And they reminded me that it was Lent.
Yeah. And they don't serve bacon during Lent. They're
No.
very
They
religious there.
said they were very strict. They're like, it's Lent, not after 11. I was like, well,
Yeah.
You didn't even want to tell me. I was like, she was just like, I'm going to tell you later. I'm going to tell you later. I'm like, what?
yeah, it is.
Friday.
It is, yeah.
See? We don't know.
Box on a bagel though would be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. I don't know if they do locks. I don't think they do locks on a bagel.
Oh, they do.
They do? Yeah.
I saw it on. I do my research.
Yeah. I know Latham Bagel does, but I didn't know that Bell and
Oh,
Apple
I
did.
might have got that switched up because I
Yeah.
got that fucking pizza. It was a quiche, dude.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Check out the YouTube page for that.
I wish you would have asked me what to get from there.
We're in a rush, man.
I
You're
know.
a busy man.
I
You're
would've
a
told you.
good business owner over
Yeah.
here. The
Yeah.
bakery in Cohoes.
Yeah.
What's the
You
address here?
1099 Loudon Road, Cohoes, New York.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
Right smack dab in the middle of the capital region.
There we go. Nice, Mike. Well done.
A couple
there.
of minutes to the south, couple of minutes to the north. You're in two very heavily populated areas.
This podcast is brought to you by Latham Bagel Shop, 638 Columbia Street in Latham, New York. We love these guys. I personally loved their brownie. You didn't get any of that brownie, Sarah, behind the camera, because I ate the whole thing. It was one of those late nights going into the kitchen, taking one bite, and then I had to eat the whole thing. Shout out Latham Bagel. We love you guys. They get their dough from Long Island. Family-oriented, family-run business. Right down the street from the bakery dispensary in Cohoes, New York. Shout out you guys. We love you. Appreciate you supporting and sponsoring the podcast. Hopefully more collaborations to come. 420 is coming up. We are going to be at the bakery on Friday, maybe the 18th, something like that. I don't know. I'll put the stuff right here. And then on Saturday the 19th, we're going to be at Royal Flower. There's going to be some deals over there. It's going to be a fun time. Be on the lookout for a new merch drop from us, the Dutch Master hats. You could go to www.breakfastconnections.co to see the prices and see the new limited drop of those Dutch Master hats. Thank you guys for supporting the show. This has been a lot of fun. Stay tuned for more drops. We're in 30 to 40 dispensaries. We have Living Soil indoor grown flower from Growing Renaissance coming out this week. We have very affordable eighths at $30. You know we got the $10 blunts all over upstate down into the Bronx, New York. We love you guys. Back to the show.
Brother, I'm going to keep it real. I was overwhelmed by the menu, and it was actually, like, good.
Yeah, this one?
Yeah, like your actual menu, because,
Yeah.
like, we're in a bunch of stores, and, like, I'm just, like, the little guy, like, having fun, hanging out, as you could tell. So I, like, really do, like, explore.
Yeah.
And I, like, try to find certain brands that relate to me, like, even before the products.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I try them out. And honestly, a lot of stuff's subpar. I'll even say, like, even with mine, we try to make affordable products. Like, our biggest thing with Breakfast Connections is, like, having, like, that's why we run to sun-grown.
Yeah.
Try not to call it outdoors.
Yeah.
I know I have to don't have to talk
Sun-grown's
to
the
you
new
about
outdoor.
it.
It's all good.
I know I don't have to talk to you about it, but,
Yeah.
like, I have to go sell it that way.
Yeah.
But just keeping it real. It's like,
Yeah.
even with us, like, I try to get good sun-grown, or, like, we just, Royal Leaf. You know Royal Leaf? So
Yeah,
we're working
I know
with them.
Royal Leaf. Yeah,
So
they're in our store too.
we're trying to. He's connecting
NASCAR
us.
is a great strain from them. It's fire, gas.
NASCAR was when
Yeah.
I smoked it. He gave me some. That was some of the best weed I've
Yeah.
smoked in general.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So he's being cool, and he's like hooking us up with some growers that don't have brands, because
Yeah.
for the tier 3, it's like we're able to go buy up
And
stuff.
you got to
like,
buy it all up, yeah,
And-
to package it up.
We seem to. I think I'm starting to do well in this too, because we've been very honest.
Yeah,
And I think that that's a big problem with a lot of these brands that aren't that good. Because, like, like, people will probably get mad at me on the team of being, like, saying my product isn't the top tier.
Yeah.
But I'm honestly proud of being, like, affordable, good cannabis.
and being honest. Honesty
You know?
is tough in this industry. It's tough to get honest answers out of some people in this industry.
And you know what's funny? Like, in doing sales, there's a difference between honest sales, or, like, how many sales reps in
Yeah.
business? Because I know you've, like, done other things too, like you have the card shop and stuff.
I got the card shop in Clifton Park. Yep.
And you deal with people with sales, like, sometimes you just want to buy their stuff. But,
Yeah.
like, you can't, and you're like, dude, I love you. You're cool.
Yeah.
But, like, I just can't.
Yeah.
You know? But
Yeah.
there's a difference between that and just, like, some asshole just, like,
Yeah.
lying to you.
I don't run into that too often in the card business, but I run into it in this business quite often.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good products out there that don't represent good things or good people. I'll just keep it like that.
Yeah.
So keep it. I don't want to get too far into
I
it.
saw it coming.
Yeah, you did. I don't want to go too
So my
far.
eyes were like, ooh, juicy.
Yeah. So I just, I'll leave it at that. There's a lot of people out there that just, you got to be careful, and check your COAs.
Yes. And that's just number one.
Check your COAs.
It's funny because we weren't even talking about COA. Yeah. We weren't even talking about COAs. We're just talking about people.
Oh, you're talking about people. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
Left turn. We derailed.
Yeah. No. I'm
I'm trying not to say anything my lawyer's gonna hate me for.
No, we're good, dude. We edit this podcast. It's
All right, good.
dude.
Yeah.
I have better. Just like Sarah's better than me.
Yeah.
The people who edit this are better than me.
Better than me.
Yeah. So I just have fun as a host. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just try to keep it bubbly and fun.
Just from a consumer standpoint and from a buyer standpoint, like from a dispensary buyer, you should be checking your COAs.
Well, how many dispensaries are there now?
340, I think, that are 343, maybe somewhere in there. I think I just looked the other night. I think it was like 340.
You know what's funny too is because we're like doing this little podcast, put it on YouTube and stuff. there's not too many people doing that, but the some people who are doing it, I know
Yeah.
you're really tight with them, and I
Yeah.
see you on their pods and just seeing their products and their brands. And it's so funny. Remember we were joking earlier about like being a brand guy and like
Yeah.
even before you go smell the jars or like get into something, it's like you're appealed by
Yeah,
the
the
brand.
brand, yeah.
Do you think that the content and the packaging still can work? Because I see the reason I bring that up, I'll try to like make it a little bit more digestible, is like I always think that the product doesn't have to be the best all of the time, especially with growing like living plants.
Yeah.
It's always batch specific.
Yeah.
So brand loyalty is gonna like bring in the dough.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like brand loyalty with trying something out new, do you think that that is almost more important than the product when it comes to content and labels and packaging, or is it still just product over everything?
So are we talking in the short term or the long term?
Short term.
Short term, yeah, that stuff matters. The flashy packaging, the story, the how much do you take care of the staff? How much decor do you put in a store?
Yeah.
How much flash do you bring to the table? That definitely matters in the short term. But I'll keep it real simple. Good weed will always sell good, and that's state to state, legal market, illegal market, the illicit market, no matter what, good weed will always sell. And if you're growing good weed and you're selling good weed, you'll be in business.
No matter the price point.
No matter the price. Well, it's a different story. Price point matters too, right? Because like at the end of the day, we're selling cannabis. We're not selling Rolexes. We're not selling.
Right.
We're not selling gold chains.
I'm happy you said that because everyone wants to be the new Steve Jobs of weed.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to have like the Louis Vuitton bag like type of weed thing. She knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, she just smiled too. Yeah. So.
It's true though.
Yeah, it is.
And it's funny because like I have the New York style coffee cup imagery, and like we were talking earlier, for us it was like screams convenience.
Yeah.
And how we started
And it
was
does, yeah.
we were in New England, just like up and down Maine, Rhode Island, down into New York. We're from Connecticut originally.
Yeah.
And like we wanted to start Amsterdam style coffee shop.
Yep.
And our biggest thing was like bringing people together through weed. And then it kind of like all happened serendipitously because we were able to get our license in New York because New York actually like it's funny how like in other states so many people scream like our state's not giving us opportunities, and in New York all you have to do is just be legit.
Yeah,
We've been
just-
legit for like
just-
5 years
Just be a good person.
and have like pay
it.
your taxes,
Be a good
have
person.
an LLC,
Just be a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be good to people, man.
Yeah.
You
And be
know,
honest too. That's the biggest thing.
Honesty is key.
And like I was saying, like we do packaging, and it kind of like came organically to us, like have convenient products and like the breakfast thing. And it's like we were talking on the way up here that like sometimes just having fun
Yeah.
and like selling weed, which is sick.
Yeah.
It's fucking kind of crazy.
Yeah, you're just selling weed, Just
And we're
have
doing
fun.
pretty
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
And like I think
Yeah.
you guys are doing pretty good in here
Yeah.
too. And when it going back to like the branding thing and long term,
Yeah.
what do you think is gonna make a place like the bakery last long term? And for other dispensary owners out there too, because I know you're doing this to help the culture.
Yeah.
I know you're not just doing it for profit.
Yeah, we at the bakery, we just want to make sure that I'm not gonna say the little guy because I don't see him as little guys, but like the smaller micros, the smaller batch stuff reaches the people that deserve to see it. In long term, I want to see us just carrying that on. Make sure that we're checking the COAs, make sure we're checking product, make sure we're just selling good product. Like we care about what you're consuming here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not just pushing the next big product that's flashy with flashy packaging and good sales goals and marketing techniques. Like that's not what we're about here. I'd rather push a jar of weed that's black and white with no label on it that's good rather than a bright pink jar that yeah so that's us. I think the customers that come into our store, they are starting to notice that.
Yeah.
They say it at the register. They say it when they're leaving. They're leaving us reviews that are saying it. And the proof's in the pudding. When people come in here and they leave happy or mad, they can't say that we don't sell good weed.
Right.
So
Damn, that was a fucking mic drop moment right there. Happy or mad, you can't say you don't sell good weed. That was good.
So
Mike, that was good.
no, please. I'm not gonna shout out individuals because I don't want to leave anybody out, but I'm looking at a case right now that's just full of heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And they're heavy hitters in the sense of they have no marketing money behind them, and they are just pushing out great products.
And variety.
Dude,
I was so blunt. Can I shout out a name, or is that okay?
I mean,
Good?
you can, but I'm not gonna.
Dude, how does Rolling Green have so many strains?
They are.
Do you know how hard that is to do just on a packaging labeling standpoint?
Yeah,
And I've grown weed for years, dude. Do you know how hard it is to run all those phenos
And they're
put
small-
them in your room and they're all different environment? Like, how the fuck do they do that?
And they're a smaller farm. And
How do they do that?
Honestly, I think we might have the largest selection of Rolling Green.
I haven't seen a bigger
I don't
selection.
think anybody else in the state has the
Anywhere
selection
close.
that we do.
You get love from the
Yeah.
farmers.
Yeah, and James is awesome at Rolling Green. We've got a really good relationship. We value each other's opinions. We value each other's, input in the industry. And they're doing a good thing over there. They
The
got some
biggest
good
thing,
weed.
too, you said is being cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll shout out another one.
Just be nice. Be nice to people.
I'm gonna shout out some people.
Yeah.
Shout out Casey from Umami.
Yeah, Casey.
He's the man.
Yeah, Casey's the man.
He was like, dude, I was so surprised.
Yeah.
He had me have like one eye up sometimes because I was
Yeah,
like,
like,
why is this guy
why
being
is
so
he
cool?
not
to me?
nice, right? Yeah,
he
why-
sells like an exact product of mine too.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he did. I mean, it's like a cliche thing to say,
Yeah.
which is funny, but he was like, over competition, collaboration over competition.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? I remember,
Yeah.
and you were like kind of pushing that too.
and more so collaborating with people that see the industry the same way you do.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know what that is, dude. It's something we don't even have to say with words, though. Like
Yeah.
homie over here that I can't say. Shout
Yeah.
out. But he, like, even us, like when we are just like talking, we're like brands in the industry,
Yeah.
and you're just cool, and you can hang out with these people. You know what I mean?
I, without going too far into detail, I think there's a lot of people that are just after like a quick buck and just trying to cash out, and then there's a lot of people that actually care about the plant, care about the people, and I think you got a lot of people in the middle that don't really know what to do, right? You got a lot of dispensary owners, a lot of processors, a lot of cultivators that don't really know what side to be on, and I think it's like lack of education,
Yeah. It's a term we all hear around this.
Yeah, lack. I say education loosely because I don't really have the strongest education like book smart wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really excel in school, but what I mean by that is that, look at other industries, look at other states.
Yep.
Look what's happened. Look at what certain companies have done to certain people, certain families. Yeah. So
I've heard stories.
yeah, it's and honestly, some of the stories that I can go back and forth, we probably
Yeah.
can go back and forth. Some of them are heartbreaking. You got people that have lost their entire lives because of dirty marketing tactics or sleazy salesmen
Taking
or
advantage of people
taking
who
advantage
got
of people.
advantages early on and just like lied to them.
Yeah.
That's stuff I've heard that's fucking so brutal.
Lying is terrible, especially when you're dealing with a consumable product. Like you cannot lie to people that are consuming your product. Number one, it's going to destroy your brand. Number two, you can hurt people.
Yeah.
And number three, you can hurt people. And you lie about what's in your product. Again, get back to the COAs. That's why the COAs are very important. And I think there was some things that happened along the way with certain companies that were testing stuff that, I don't want to get too far into it, but these eyebrows are going up. He wants to, but again, what's done in the dark will always come to light, right? So if you're shady, if you're doing stuff behind people's back and you're being facetious and
Dude, karma's a
vindictive,
motherfucker.
karma is real.
Yeah.
So just be good to people, be kind, be nice. And you don't have to sell, you don't have to buy every product from everybody to be nice to people.
Yeah.
Like we have vendors that come in here and I'm nice. Like I'm just like I'm very blunt. I'm very honest. Like you can ask anybody in the industry that's dealt with me.
Yep.
I'm probably the most honest and straightforward and upfront person that you'll probably meet. And sometimes that translates into some people getting upset. But at the end of the day, you can't say that I wasn't honest with you. And maybe 5 years down the road we might be able to do business together. But right now, it's just not the time. So
Yeah, we're in such an emerging industry now
Yeah.
too that like, and I'm sure I think you have that same energy with people too, where like we try not to hate too much. It's like
you don't want to. Yeah.
and but at the same time, like we have opinions,
Yeah.
and it's
Everybody's got opinion. Yeah.
yeah, but like it's hard for me to hate people's hustle
Yeah.
of things, but I feel like we all get real prideful. Us legacy or however
Yeah.
you want to use that word. I try not to use
Yeah.
that one too.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I'm fucking
Traditional legacy.
I'm 32
yeah.
and allegedly I've sold weed for like 15, 20 years almost.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I've had my ups and downs, dude. I've gotten fucking popped for this shit and I've
Yeah.
like had to come back.
Yeah.
And then like this shit never like lose. Dude, I've actually tried to shake the
Yeah.
hustle of weed in my life just because of.
And you're not able to, right?
No.
Me too. So
Well, it's funny.
And
It's-
I've been before I opened this place, I was disconnected from the industry for a little bit, to the point where like I was just like, like I need to concentrate on something else. So
Tell me a
you
little
know,
bit about that. So you're from here, right?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
from this area.
born and raised,
Yeah.
Schenectady, New York. I was born in Niskayuna at Bellevue Hospital.
Word.
And then went back to Division Street in Schenectady.
Okay.
And born and raised. So
And you went to high school out here and everything. And you were like smoking weed in high school and like part of the scene.
Yep, yeah, high school. I went to high school briefly in Schenectady and briefly in Rotterdam.
Word.
But
I dropped
yeah.
out of high school, bro.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
you know.
I wasn't trying to say that, but
Nah, man,
I wasn't,
I'm
wasn't
right there
trying
with
to
you, brother.
disclose that information to the entire world. But listen, I'm not telling
Sorry.
any kid. Stay in school.
Yes,
seriously.
yes.
Stay in school until you figure out what you want to do. And that's my best advice to anybody that's thinking about. I don't want to push anybody to like do anything bad and drop out.
No,
because that's not.
Yeah.
If I had to do it over, I think I would have stayed in school, and just figured out more things before I dropped out and sat on a couch and smoked a lot of weed. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure like
So-
you and me, like I had people like in that education system that were like cool to me. I actually
Yeah.
did. So I played football and like got in trouble. Couldn't even play my senior year because I was selling weed. Got caught.
Yeah.
My football coach told me like he's kind of like bluntly brute type shit.
Yeah.
He's like, go out to move to California.
Yeah.
And like it's legal there.
Yeah, like,
And
what are you
he's
doing?
like drop out and do
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
I literally did that.
Yeah.
I lived in the Bay for 5 years and
Yeah.
I started trimming weed. And
Yeah.
I was picking up trash for the San Francisco Giants out there and like learned the scene. That was when Cookies blew up in like
Yeah.
2010.
Yeah.
So I like Flux is my homie and like
Yeah.
shout out homie and like all those dudes, like I watched them blow
Yeah.
up. So coming back to the East Coast, I was doing my thing, got caught up a few times and like did the Amsterdam coffee shop like I was saying and
Yeah.
I'm still in it.
Yeah.
And like, flash forward, like I tried to get out a bunch of times and I feel like it always like calls us back in.
Yeah.
And that similar background that we're talking about or relating from our childhood of coming up hustling in,
Yeah.
the, in the black, gray market, whatever. I think that is that connection.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm wrong by that or like,
So it could be, but I also know some
because that's
people.
what they want to say legacy is.
Yeah, but I also know a couple people that are currently in the market in New York that are technically legacy, that have totally different views about the industry than I do. Almost like polar opposites, if you will.
Just like go get your money type of shit and like
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
I won't touch too far on it, but I think they just have different views. They want to operate their business the way that they want to operate it, and I'll
Yeah.
never tell another man how to operate his business.
Right.
And that goes for any type of brand
Yeah.
or dispensary or everybody's got a different vision. So
And that's like what you were saying about talking to people and like it's when they get upset if you're like straight up with them and your opinions and like
Yeah.
that's gonna end
yeah,
up.
some of them they get salty. Yeah,
But I don't want to sound like this any type of way, but at the same time, like I'm just like, all right, keep doing what you're doing because that's
Yeah.
gonna end up biting you in the ass. Because I've had failed
Yeah.
businesses, I've had businesses that were successful. We had a CBD business that I sold and actually made money on it, but that was like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, when it
I got
first
lucky.
dropped.
Yeah, exactly.
and you could sell CBD weed.
Exactly. But like that's the thing. It's
See, I missed that whole wave.
yeah.
And
You're selling cards.
We're selling sports cards.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was a barber for a very long time.
Oh really?
So, yeah, I cut
I
hair.
need a new barber.
Yeah, I'm not your guy.
Fuck.
I'm not the guy.
God damn it.
No.
But you had like 7 side hustles, bro.
No. Yeah. So
Tell me about the
Yeah.
card shop.
Car shops?
My homie wants to open one. He's like obsessed. He just found this.
Don't. No, just kidding.
This Tommy. He found this Aaron Rodgers rookie card in his stash. That's I think worth a couple G's.
That's awesome.
It was the one like with his helmet off, like on training camp, like.
Was it Bowman? Was it a Bowman card?
I think so. I don't know.
Like a Bowman first or something like that. Well, actually, he didn't have a Bowman first. They didn't do Bowman first.
It was. I just know the picture was like him in training camp of his rookie year with his helmet off, and it was like some rare card.
I'm gonna assume it's probably from Bowman.
Maybe
Bowman is a.
I'll take a picture of it
yeah.
and I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me more about the card shop because I'm always interested in like the other hustles to this.
Yeah,
thing.
the card shop's great. I started the business from selling part of my collection.
Really?
During COVID, yeah. And just took it from there. Bought into a wholesale company that owned distribution rights. And just went from there. I mean, I ran the business out of my garage for a couple years.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then Tops and Fanatics, they have all the licensing agreements now, and then
This is all COVID times.
No, this is later on. This is now present time. So COVID,
But they took advantage of that COVID change in like cards. And
They
the
all
worth,
did. They all did.
Which makes
Panini
sense. It's
Topps.
that's like some Disney shit. You know?
Yeah, well, it's funny you said Disney because Disney's is a company now too. They own Star Wars. They own Disney Lorcana. We actually host a game night Wednesday nights.
I was
for
talking to
Lorcana.
some of your staff about that, and they were like, "Dude, first of all, no bullshit. Your staff loves you
Yeah,
for
I love
real.
them
Like
too, man.
you run a good ship, dude."
Yeah.
And like they were But the cool thing was, they weren't just doing the basics of like, hey, cool guys selling weed like with the sick, but it's
Yeah.
like they were praising you about the card shop and how you bring people together.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about that too, because we did in Rhode Island. They were a little bit more lax on consumption.
Yeah.
And we were able to do a social club for a while, and allegedly, what we did was it was the gifting thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Buy a
So-
ticket, you get a gift. Yeah,
And we would give out free coffee. We'd have movie nights, and
Yeah.
we fucking failed hard dude,
Yeah.
in the beginning. But I like stuck with it, and I was like on my last leg. And then like people just started coming in off of word of mouth because they didn't have anything else to do, and this was COVID times.
Yeah.
So when he was praising you about that, about like bringing people together for like game nights and
Yeah.
stuff like that, tell me a little bit about the feeling you get about that? Because there's a weird thrill that like I don't know about
Yeah,
you.
it's,
I did it to make money. And then I was
we
like,
don't
this
even
is a
make
place.
money off of that.
But that's
those
what you
game
learn.
nights.
It's you end up creating a place where people need to go.
Yeah, so like when I was a kid, I collected, right? And
Yeah.
I had a shop that I went to. I played Pokemon when I was younger. So, I remember what I felt like when I was able to go to a place and just be myself, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these kids, actually adults too, they don't have a place to be themselves.
Yeah.
They're if they weren't playing at my card shop, they'd have to be at somebody's house and not feeling like it's an official event, and they want to feel a part of something, and we're thankful enough to be in a position to be able to do that. The feeling I get is just it's rewarding.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's a rewarding feeling to just be to make people happy.
Yeah, when it's unexpected too.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
yo, like,
yeah.
Because I started showing up, and because I had like 2 people come, and then all of a sudden like 15 people were there.
Yeah.
And I legit was like, why are you coming?
Yeah.
Because I was like at like rock bottom with it.
Yeah.
And then you start to learn why. And what's funny about that is, like I said, I started it to make money.
Yeah.
And then I kept doing it because I don't even know. Like I just
You're
liked
making
it,
money.
and
Yeah.
I did start making money off it
Yeah.
from that.
You
but
don't want
I-
to stop when you're making money.
We have-
Yeah. Be honest. Let's just be honest. We're all being honest, right? I mean, you're making money. It's
true.
You don't want to stop if you're making money.
But what's funny about making money?
Hey, no. He can't. What are you giving
You
away
got
the
the
cannolis?
cannolis?
Oh, no, you can't. You're in the middle of the recorded.
That was my cannoli.
No. Wow. That was my
man,
cannoli.
that's
You
awesome.
Just gave away my cannoli.
He needs the cannoli. He's got the Dom Pizzas hoodie on. Shout out
Wow.
Dom's Pizza.
I'll send you over some Dom's pizza. How's that?
Speaking of a barber, he's a good barber.
You're a barber, dude?
Yeah.
sir.
French.
You need
French.
a haircut.
I need a haircut, dude. Look at this.
First one's on me. I'm gonna help
No
you
way.
out, my man.
He's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Done.
French.
Done.
French.
No, I'm serious.
You don't have to come down on me too hard, bro.
I need help.
Yeah.
Completely down to nothing.
No, don't do
That
that
made
to
me so
him.
mad. I love
Yeah.
this girl.
You give his scissors a little bit.
You local?
Troy.
Troy.
Francesco's Barbershop.
South,
the best bacon, egg, and cheese
South
in Troy?
Troy versus the world.
Best bacon, egg, and cheese in Troy. And are you doing salt, pepper, ketchup? First question.
Oh, that's a
Second.
tough question. He just went to Latham Bagel, did a review.
Fire.
You know, there's a
Tell him.
On the
Say it
roll,
louder.
right? On the roll.
Tell him.
You get it on the bagel or you get it on the roll?
It's a hidden gem. Nobody.
Both?
Bagel. I'm a bagel guy, so yeah, me
All right,
too.
so he's going everything bagel. He's
Yeah.
going everything bagel. Best bacon, egg, and cheese in Troy.
there's a new one, Cookie Factory.
Cookie Factory. Those are the homies. Shout out Cookie Factory.
And Cookie Shack.
That whatever they're called.
Yeah,
Cookie
yeah,
something.
yeah.
They've DM'd us a bunch of times telling us to go in there,
She got
and
bagels from.
her shit looks fire.
Yeah.
She got a bunch of
Best
bagels.
pizza.
What's best pizza?
Dom.
Dom's Pizza.
Right on the
Shout
floor
out.
right there.
There we go. Shout out
Dom's Pizza is actually right across the street from us.
right.
You see it through the door.
Yeah, you can see it right through the door.
Weed and food.
This building we're in actually used to be Dom's Pizza. Believe
Really?
it or not. Yeah, they were slinging. Actually, I
yeah,
think
you got the got
fryers
pizza
were right
floors.
here. So we're standing where the fryers were.
That makes sense.
Yes,
makes
you can
sense.
smell it still, right?
I feel like I'm in the
So
oil.
not for nothing,
I'm
for
marinating
nothing.
in the
When I
oil.
came into this building, it was gutted to the right down to the studs, to the concrete or the brick walls.
Yeah.
You could still smell a little bit of pizza.
It's good.
You knew you were walking into a pizza place.
Wait, hold on. So
I mean, you're talking about 38 years?
40 years.
Wow, it was a deli before that.
Yeah, but it's pizza.
Oh, they did
Canadian meal.
All right, so 40-something years of just pizza, wings.
you know where we're from, right?
Where?
New Haven,
You can't
Connecticut.
take
Yeah.
down those
So you
So we know pizza.
you know pizza.
we know
yeah,
pizza. I gotta
yeah.
come into Dom's Pizza.
Yeah.
Check out some pizza.
You should check out their pizza. Yeah,
I will.
for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
But you didn't. But the Cookie Shack, the Cookie Factory, whatever it's called, we love them. I cannot wait to go there. It's definitely gonna be better than Bella's and Napoli. That's just what I'm saying. Sorry.
Yeah.
All you
Well,
gotta do is
didn't
be-
even get a bacon, egg, and cheese from
I
them,
know, but I don't even
So you
want the
can't-
bacon, egg, and
No,
cheese
you
anymore.
gotta-
They're so mean to me.
though. Oh, they were mean to you?
all the Italian ladies were so mean to me.
Well, because
He looked at him like he didn't know.
He
because I
asked
gave
for-
him at 2:30
he asked
on
for
Lent.
bacon. He asked for bacon after 12.
On
It's
Lent.
during Lent.
Yeah.
Bellinopoly. He shouldn't.
I fucked up.
I should have forewarned you, honestly. You know, you said you were going there for sweets. You didn't say anything about a bacon, egg, and cheese. Had you said, I'm going there for a bacon, egg, and cheese, I would have been like, listen,
I think that's where I'm
don't
fucking
go
up.
in there right now and
Yeah.
ask for a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Dude, that's what is fun about it though. Is just like meeting people and asking.
Yeah.
It's if I go into places and I got some blunts and
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get better herb.
Yeah.
That's even like what I like. Again, I don't have to sell you.
Yeah.
But like when I go sell people,
Yep.
it's like you should probably get my weed because it's affordable and I have to buy it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really hard for me to buy weed that I don't think is gonna sell.
So that's the other thing, too.
You know?
Like, price point and good weed, they go hand in hand. If you have a good product and a good price, you don't necessarily have to be the cheapest. You just have to have a good price.
Yeah.
Don't charge $70 for an eighth.
Who's your customer? That's like where people need to start asking themselves a little bit more.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be Steve Jobs, dude. Everyone wants to be Louis Vuitton.
Everybody wants a sell a $50
right?
eighth.
Because they sell. Because they do sell.
They do right now, but history will tell you that it doesn't
we talked
last
about
forever.
that last time.
Yeah. So you have to be weary. I get it. These brands, they want to get their money now.
Enjoy your weekend.
You too, man.
Francesco's Barbershop.
Francesco's Barbershop. I'll be
Yeah.
there. I was gonna ask him something. I totally forgot about pizza.
About pizza.
Yeah, I totally forgot, but I totally. Yeah.
Franco. Franco. He wants to ask you a question.
I totally forgot though.
You ask him about pizza. What's a good
I
pizza
forgot what it
place
was
out
about.
there?
So we're from New Haven, Connecticut. You ever been out there and have pizza?
They got the best pizza.
Yeah.
Which one do you get out there?
What is it called?
Frank Pepe.
Was it?
Pepe?
Frank Pepe or Sally's?
No, I know. Sally's. I haven't been to Frank Pepe yet because I want to go to Italy first.
Go to Zapardi's.
What is
Go to
that?
Zapardi's
Zapardi's.
in West Haven,
Okay.
or Modern Pizza
Modern is
in New
the
Haven.
best.
Yes.
Really?
That's why I love coming out and talking to people about like doing the bacon, egg, and cheese reviews because I'm not from here. So when I go around, as long as I like get the discussion going, I just get pumped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's why I was asking you. Put people on the spot.
Breakfast hit or miss out for me. That's why I wouldn't give you an honest.
You're breaking my heart, but it's
That's
okay.
me too. It's okay. I work for him.
Yeah, but
It's okay.
you want food places, right? Restaurants, stuff. Yeah.
What do you think? Go ahead, tell him.
What's the best restaurant in Troy besides
What kind
besides
of,
Dom's
no,
Pizza?
no. You can't do Troy. Just do Capital Region.
Oh, Capital Region. That's big.
Yeah.
That's a big net.
Cafe Italia for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and they just opened up a new restaurant in Gilliland Route 20 Mall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, intersection of, was it 155 and Route 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like it up here, dude. I like the
Dude,
capital
we
region.
got some good food, man.
Yes.
All the addresses.
Yeah.
It's the vibe. It's the people.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
what it is too.
I gotta
Yeah.
run.
Have a great
Peace,
day.
man.
Work for a living.
Yeah.
I'm working right now.
Later.
No, I'm not
I say that
working.
as a fresh one. I'm new. Like I've only been here 6 months, so
Yeah.
hear the vibe.
It's
good.
sick.
It's way
Yeah,
better
it's
than
the people, man.
Yeah.
It's the people. Because you know what's funny too? I was so intimidated, like coming into New York and doing this, and like you just, again, like we were saying about being honest and being a good person. Like people are super welcoming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially if you like, there's certain things that people know. Like we were talking about, like you just know good weed.
Yeah.
It's hard if you've been doing it a while. It's like
hard
hard
not-
to fool someone.
It's yeah. It's
You know?
You know
It
and
really is.
I'll tell you what's the hardest part, right? On being on the other side, like as a buyer.
Yeah.
It's hard to be honest, as in like we don't want to carry your product and not be like insulting, right?
Word.
Because you never want to insult somebody, because what I've learned is that growing weed is you're always learning something, right? And if you tell me today, like all these growers come in here and they tell me that I'm the best grower around, I'm gonna, I'll probably call you a liar, because
Yeah.
like every day you're in the garden, and I grow.
It's
I
so
grow,
hard
I
to
don't grow
grow weed,
anymore,
bro.
but I did grow for a very long time.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Your lawyer's gonna love me, dude.
Yeah. Allegedly, I used to grow a lot. But to get back on topic, yes. You learn something every day, and if you weren't
Yeah.
learning something every day in the garden, you weren't doing it right, right?
Mhm.
So
And it's batch specific.
strain specific, and like
Environment.
Gross specific.
yeah, gross. Your environment, you have to be dialed into
We're
your
on the
environment.
East Coast too, bro. So it's like, it's
So,
funny. Like
I get-
things fucking change, and like we're not in like fully insulated rooms, bro.
let's break out.
I just learned about
let's-
mini splits like 5 years ago.
Yeah. And let's break into like the whole East Coast thing. Like certain
Yeah.
strains don't grow well out here,
Nope.
and like a
Or
lot of
under
gro-
LED lights as
and I-
well. Like that's a new thing. But
And I'm
go
not
on.
gonna shout out specific strains because I don't want to hurt any feelings. But
Blue Dream shout out. Sorry, I had to do it for you.
I didn't say that.
Mold resistant on the East Coast, brother.
Yeah,
Go on.
literally.
Go on,
yeah.
dude.
So if you're growing outdoors, grow Blue Dream. But there's other crosses that Blue Skunk's good, but there's also strains that just don't grow good outside. And take it from somebody that's thrown them outside. They just don't, and they grow crazy good inside.
Yeah.
They just don't. They don't grow good outside. And for a while, we had just outdoor weed, right?
Yeah.
Or you were subject to the indoor that was around. I'm not gonna look at your eyebrows.
Small batch indoors on the East Coast, huh?
Yeah, now there's small batch indoor. There wasn't in the beginning, but there was some indoor, I think, out for a little while. We actually did. I don't think we sold any of it.
Yeah, it was like all outdoors for a while.
It was
they
all,
gave them the hemp licenses.
Yeah, it was all outdoor. That's all. That's the only licenses they gave out. But
And what's
listen,
funny is-
weed doesn't
yeah.
grow good outside in New York. Or honestly, in general, on the East Coast, like it's very hard. I actually just talked about this the other day to somebody. It's impossible to grow weed outside and not have powdery mildew. You'd be lucky. This is actually what I said is word for word. Is you'd be lucky, like a pot of gold. You found the end of a rainbow. Yeah, there's one around here, but if you grew outside and you didn't end up with powdery mildew, aphids,
Blood rot, like
or
crazy.
blood rot, or aspergillus, those are 4 major things that infect, crops, and in upstate New York. Honestly, in the Northeast in general, outside, it's impossible. Unless you're going out there every day, shaking your plants, attending to every single plant. Even then, you're still going to end up with something. And like that, from a consumer standpoint, you should be very weary of that, right? So like in the beginning, we had nothing but outdoor, and some of the COAs were very suspect.
So why am I not seeing a lot of good controlled indoor rooms now?
I don't think
Growing
the
Renaissance,
licensing's there.
Royal Leaf, those guys, and
Yeah,
those
they're
guys
living
are
soil,
just
too.
getting started too.
Yeah.
Like they're doing a great job, but it's like even them are like they're building more and making it even more efficient.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen too many like gigantic, big, efficient indoors.
No, I think the only ones that have the bigger places right now are like the ROs,
Yeah,
that have
and
been
those
here for
want-
15 years.
Yeah.
I think maybe licensing. I'm not too keen on that side of the licensing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know these people in Maine that are killing it, right?
Yeah.
And they have their micro license.
Yep.
But they're killing it in Maine, and I keep telling them, I'm like, dude, why aren't especially for me as a buyer, I'm like, fucking grow.
Yeah.
Like, because we have genetics that we used to breed,
Yep.
and I'm just like looking for growers, hit us
Yeah.
up that will grow the certain genetics we have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, just grow this strain. Like, I'm
Yeah.
in 40 dispensaries. Like, I'll just sell it.
So, yeah.
And like, people need
And they
good
don't wanna
weed
come here.
because it's an investment.
Yeah.
And they're making money in Maine,
Yeah.
and they're like, there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
So it's just a funny little like domino effect.
and to be making money in Maine's congratulations.
Well, that's how good they are.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So like that's a testament to what we were just talking about. Good weed sells.
Yeah.
If you got good
Yeah.
weed, you're gonna sell it.
Yeah, but that's why I'm
and
like,
you're always gonna make
But
good
I'm
money.
not the only one that's like preaching to the fucking and being
Yeah.
like, dude, why aren't you guys out here?
A lot of
New York's a different
Yeah,
animal too. Though.
It's a different animal, and honestly, I think they might be wary of like the rollout or something like that, like with the licensing.
Maybe.
And here's
and
the other
it's
thing
not
too.
easy dealing with OCM and shit. Like Maine medical is like
It's easy if you're doing the right thing.
Yeah,
If you're playing by the rules and you're doing the right thing.
if you get a good rhythm.
Yeah, you have to,
Yeah.
do the right thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's the other thing too. Is like, I don't want to get too far into it. My lawyer will have a field day with this, but if you're not playing by the rules, why are you even here?
True.
Like,
It's a
this
good
is a
point.
legal market now.
It's a good point.
Like, just
You're
do the
making
right
me
thing.
feel better about the things I'm dealing with.
Yeah, just do the right thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, and like, listen, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit up here and say that I'm perfect because I know I'm not. But at least we try, and
Right.
we're coming from a good place.
And like you said, do the right thing.
Do the
Like,
right
you're
thing.
Not, you're
Try
not
to do-
trying to be like hiding shit, being shady. I want we're able to pay taxes for weed
Yeah.
now. It's like people sometimes like throw shade at me for that. They're like, "What are you
Yeah.
talking about?" I'm like, "Dude, like I've been trying to pay taxes for weed for a long time. Dude.
Me
I've
too.
Been trying to figure
Me
out.
too. I've been
Yeah.
trying to figure out a way to pay taxes for a long time,
Yeah.
man. And finally have the opportunity to do that. And I'm like, why would you try to jeopardize?
No,
that?
and I appreciate
Yeah.
you even telling me that as someone who's coming up with it, and you've been so supportive
Yeah.
of me and like what we do, especially being an outsider coming in and like learning this, even
Yeah.
like doing the fun breakfast shit.
Yep.
Like I can't thank you enough, dude. And it's fun being in here. The bakery's menu is like it's the best that I've seen. It's the best. You're not gonna. I know certain owners of dispensaries that
Yeah.
can't even get some of the shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like.
Respect the flower.
Yeah.
Respect the flower. I like that.
Yeah.
But I know you got a business to run, so we could talk. We could sit here and talk.
We could
all
sit here
day.
and talk forever. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
I
But
feel like we just
appreciate
started
you, yeah.
talking.
No, I know.
I have so much
Dude,
to
we got,
say.
We're 40 minutes in, dude.
Are we?
We
Let's go another 40.
You
Come
want
on.
to go? You
Yeah.
want to? You're the one
Yeah.
running the business.
Yeah,
that's
no,
good.
that's all right. They got it. These
That's
guys are
good.
the best.
I like it.
Seriously.
No, that's
Noah's
what's
the
up.
best.
No,
Noah's
that's awesome.
the
man.
best. Shout out Noah, Kevin, Isabel, Kristen, Phil, the whole team.
So
my,
you were one
my
of the-
wife,
yeah.
importantly. My
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
absolutely.
yeah.
Shout out the ladies.
The rock. She's the rock. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. I got a 2-year-old son at home. And
Oh, really?
Yeah, like without her support, we wouldn't be here. Like she's like literally like the rock.
That's awesome.
None of this is possible without her. Seriously, none of it. And maybe she'll listen to this one day, but I don't know if she'll hear it. But yeah, seriously,
Hopefully, my target marketing works, and
Yeah,
she'll see
she'll see it on,
That's
like,
the goal.
Instagram or
until
YouTube
they
or
shut us
something.
down somehow.
Yeah.
Don't shut us down.
no.
Yeah, I won't say that.
As long as you're
We'll
doing the
edit
right
that out, dude.
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, as long as
So
you're doing the right thing.
were you one of the first dispensaries open?
No, I would think it was 90. Well, what's my license say? 92.
Yep.
It was license number is 92.
92,
but
yeah.
I think I might have been in the 70s actually open.
Right.
Because there's licenses before me that haven't opened. Does it say it on there? I think it was like 70s.
But either way, you were telling me a little bit
First
about,
100. I'm in the first 100.
But you've
so-
been like in the mix. Like you were saying that there's like a lot of farmers and people
Yeah.
that like you've like kind of not supported might not be the right word, but you do support him. But I know you're a humble guy.
Yeah.
But like I want to know a little bit more about like you behind the scenes because everyone praises you. You
I
know,
don't know
like
why.
I don't know.
I don't know
Tell
why.
me.
I don't know
well, I
why.
mean, here's some things I hear then, right?
Yeah.
Is you have a small place
Yeah.
that small craft growers like because
Yeah.
they feel like they could talk to your staff, they could
Yeah.
talk to you, they could see the different types of customers. Like fucking Casey's in here doing pop-ups
Yeah,
all the time.
all the time.
Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I want to know a little bit more about you. Is like, is it just you just being yourself? Do you take pride in that? Is that something from the card shop, like we were saying about gathering people? You're not just trying to have too much flash. What do you think it is?
I think it's a little bit of both. You know, I love their brand and what they stand for.
Yeah.
So, you know, for him specifically, I just love their brand.
Yeah.
And Casey's a great guy, so he's a good person to talk to.
Yeah.
But it's funny how he's become a friend to me.
Yeah.
So
It is like it's like family business in here.
I would say family business, but like more so like because I take people in every day that I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I met Casey through a mutual friend that actually was one of my customers. I cut his hair for a very long time,
Word.
you know, over a decade. So like there was that little connection, and Casey will attest to this. I actually told Casey no in the beginning because you know, in a respectful way, no.
Yeah.
Because the product wasn't up to our standards.
Mm-hmm.
So I respectfully declined in the very beginning, and he'll attest to it if you ask him.
Yep.
And he was not, I wouldn't say relentless, not like a, you know, relentless salesman, but more so of coming in here on like a, you know, like, hey, how you doing? You know, and not trying to sell you nothing, just, hey, how are you? And then eventually, you know, we ended up buying from him, giving him a shot, and you know the rest is history. We sell a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
We sell a lot of umami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
And it's good stuff. I think they just chopped down Greenhouse 2 or 3, and it gets better every time. You know, the grower Nick is
real growers understand that too, and like
Yeah.
that's probably why they're like relentless, but like that's not the right
Yeah.
word because like, yo, check out this new one.
That's one of the things.
It's not like you're not gonna look at it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things when I'm bringing in a brand, especially flowers, like who's your grower?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who he is. I want to know how long he's been growing. I want to know where he was dialed in before. I want to know, all right, maybe he's not dialed in right now, but maybe in 6
And
months
that's your
from now.
long-term growth you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the long-term play. It's like, you know, maybe in 6 months from now, he's going to be dialed in.
Yeah.
And then
When
he
good
goes,
weed is good weed, and it
good
fucking
weed
sells.
is good weed,
and you're
it
waiting
sells.
for it. All, yeah,
and
it's
I'm
being
just,
a buyer.
I'm
It's funny.
like a, you know, just look at it. Good weed, yes.
Yeah, no,
You know,
for real.
like-
And you could tell a difference.
So, you know, and that's the other thing too. It's hard to find a bad SKU on my menu right now. Very
Yeah, no,
hard.
I was looking at
I've
it.
taken the time to remove things that we didn't like or consumers didn't like, and taken the time to add things that, you know, that people like. And honestly, you know, to speak on like the micros and the smaller farms, I wouldn't say they like gravitate towards me, but like when I reach out, they're not hesitant. They know that I'm going to put them on a shelf. They know that my bud tenders are going to give them the space that they deserve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so like you go dispensary, and without like, I don't want to cause harm to any other brands, but like a lot of the brands that we carry are on other menus, and it's not because they're not good. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like, you know, that
It's actually sometimes the opposite.
it's the opposite, yeah. And
they
I-
choose who they want to be in.
yeah, and sometimes I get it because like you don't like if you're heavy on a brand, then you bring in this other brand and it's going to stop sales for that brand, the other brand. I get it from like a marketing standpoint, from like a business owner standpoint. But why wouldn't you want to give your consumer that's walking into your establishment to give you money at the end of the day, the best bang for their bucks, the best product that you can provide to them? Like that's what we're about here, you know.
And I got to tell you, dude, there's so much room to grow.
Yeah.
Like for us too. Like
Yeah.
when we go to all these places,
You're only
like,
selling pre-rolls right now. You haven't even tapped the market.
we
yet.
have eights.
Oh, you have eights now?
It's funny because I did give it to you. You didn't even open it then.
I don't even know.
Put you on blast.
Yeah, you are putting me on
Yeah.
blast. I feel so terrible.
It's sun grown, good quality.
Where did I missed it?
I gave it to you. Oh, you weren't here.
I wasn't here, exactly.
And I dropped it off.
Okay, so that's
Sorry,
another.
I'm happy about Tender Extra.
Yep, I'm
I'll
gonna
give
have
you
to
another
ask
one
him.
before I leave.
Please do, because your blunts are fire. We
Thank you.
sell a ton
I
of them.
appreciate that.
The new strains, Trainwreck.
That's my favorite.
Yes. So Trainwreck's a very good strain. It's up there with like Jack Herrera. Very specific customers coming in asking for that.
And then what's good about it too is like, again, I'm not gonna put Trainwreck on the label if it ain't it.
Yeah.
I can't afford to do that.
Yeah, you have to.
So what's cool about
You have to
that
be
one and
careful
why?
with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And
That's a whole other conversation.
yes.
Yeah.
And then when I have this and it's like I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
And I just still remember. Like, because here's the thing too. Like, I'm able to go buy the weed.
Yeah.
I'm able to go pick the cones. Like, we
Yeah.
actually switched cones from Futurola to custom cones.
Gotcha.
And because I like the paper better.
Yeah.
And like those are the things I could do, but I can't put the weed in the cones.
Yeah.
And I handle art design. And she does the labels and puts them on, but like I can't do it because of like TPI and like
Yeah.
I can't. That's just how it works. So like I remember that specific train
So
wreck
you
one.
can't actually physically touch the paper while you're
No.
getting rolled.
Nope.
You can watch it though.
But I could buy one and
Yeah.
then I could smoke it. And then
Yeah.
when I fucking smoked that train wreck one,
Yeah.
I was like, thank fucking God.
Yeah, thank
because
God it was real.
I was like, this is the flower,
Yeah.
this is the cone,
Yeah.
this is the branding, and
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking,
Yeah.
this is what I want it to be. That's why I literally tell people, especially people like you, I'm like, fucking smoke the train wreck one.
The gelato fire did well for us too. That's a good one. We still
It's
have it
like
on
that
there.
one is like super about the flavor. I think the
Yeah.
effect's really good. That's what's cool about selling those pre-rolls is that like I can have variety for different flows of the day for
Yeah.
people because like you're gonna smoke a pre-roll as you're going doing something,
Yeah.
especially with the blunt, which I think is so cool about it.
Yeah.
Is that it doesn't canoe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
No.
actually like a nice
We've-
experience.
You know what's crazy is we've had returns for canoeing joints and blunts and stuff. We have never had a return
It
for
won't.
a Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Connections.
Breakfast Club is the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Breakfast Connection. Blunt. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry, dude. Shout out Charlemagne the God. Breakfast
Yeah.
Club in the mornings.
No. The Breakfast Club was a movie, right?
That was Breakfast Club. Was a movie. There's a bunch of Breakfast Clubs.
No. The Breakfast Club was a movie.
It was a movie with the people in detention or whatever.
Yeah. It was a great movie.
Saturday school.
That's Saturday School.
Detention. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to know something?
Classic.
I've never seen it.
No way.
I swear to God.
Oh, man.
I swear to God, I've never seen it.
Am I aging myself right now?
I've seen it.
All right.
I'm younger than him.
Yeah.
Alright, good.
You know what's funny is like I collect DVDs and I'm like a physical media nerd.
And you've never seen that movie?
And there's a lot of movies I've never seen. Jaws.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, definitely. I've never seen Jaws.
Ace Ventura?
Dude, that's so weird. He said that one.
Well, I just heard her said it.
Oh no, okay. I was gonna say I've never seen Ace Ventura. There's a.
It's one of my favorite movies. Jim Carrey's the best.
The only thing I've seen is the scene of him coming out of the rhino's ass in Ace Ventura 2.
That's the second one.
But I'm probably gonna watch Ace Ventura
Yeah.
tonight.
You gotta watch Jaws.
Yeah,
I know I
Jaws
gotta
is
watch
good.
Jaws. I like Spielberg too. I've never seen Schindler's List.
Oh wow.
I want to see that one.
Dude, where,
There's
are
a
you
lot
living
of
under
movies.
a rock?
You'd be surprised all the DVDs I have too. I just pick and choose, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I'm saving it for certain times.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
An entire apartment
But,
full of DVDs.
No, I lost my train of thought. I was talking about DVDs. I got to show you the sun-grown flower. It's outside the Berkshires, Massachusetts, New York line. This hemp farmer that's just like kind of like crazy Grateful Dead, like hippie
Yeah.
dude that doesn't really have a brand. And he was just like, and here's the funny thing about my luck of this year, because this is going to be interesting going into next year. It was an amazing season.
Yeah. Everybody that
It was
grew
an
outside.
amazing
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
So
Powering Cali weather.
as
Yeah.
my first year being able to do what I'm doing,
It was-
it's
you're blessed,
awesome.
yeah.
Yes, but so I wonder how that's gonna, because I can find these other growers that a lot of people don't know, and like you could buy up shit and be like, this is mine.
Yeah.
But the cool thing that I'm doing, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, which I keep, because why the growers are liking selling it to me, which is good because I don't have that much money, so I could buy 50 pounds. But like a lot of these places, like they're like, I gotta sell fucking 300 pounds. Like, dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't.
But they'll
can't
they'll
take 300 pounds.
They'll
yeah.
work with me because I keep hearing these stories about having them sign NDAs
Yeah.
saying that they can't tell them that they grew it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, like I want to say that you grew it. I just put it on a fucking podcast saying
Yeah.
you grew it.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Shout out Jelly. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but he's like this like
That's the whole
wild.
other side of the industry
Sounds
that
like
people.
some MSO, corner,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your rights. No
Yeah.
growers. Put it in the iPad for us.
Yeah.
Trash.
And like it's
Stay
so
away.
funny.
Go to Ohio MSOs.
And they just try to like use that to their advantage, and that's the bullshit
Yeah.
we're talking about. And for me, I'm like, fucking dude, tell me more so I could tell
Yeah.
people. I'm not gonna be able to sell it well.
Yeah.
How am I gonna be able to sell it? Like, what am I gonna tell them? I grew it.
Yeah.
I used to grow weed. I wasn't that good at it. I'm lucky that we got some good strains.
Yeah.
We had accidental pollination. We had a lot of accidental pollination. We just said fuck it.
So everything hermied.
But when we pheno hunted,
Yeah.
and we found some fucking winners.
Yeah.
I got this strange strawberry cream cheese that my brother's growing for us.
Yeah.
That I'm trying to get Growing Renaissance to do. That's something we're gonna work on.
That's a good
Because
one.
my homie, do you know the Piff Coast dudes?
So I don't know them personally, but I've reached out to them and try to get their stuff in the store for sure.
My homie Trav, Lobster Fan Farm, shout out the homie. He won PiffCon like a couple years in a row,
Okay.
and he has he's my buddy from way back, and he has all.
I think he's got like seeds out right now, right?
Piff Coast does. Yeah.
I think he's launching 8th soon. Or
Yeah,
pre-rolls or
he's
something.
doing it with Growing Renaissance.
Okay.
And like
That makes sense.
Royal
Yeah.
Leaf is the same shit.
Yeah,
We're
makes
about
sense.
to buy weed from them, they'll be the same shit, you know.
The Royal Leaf guys are dope, man. They
They're
came
so
out
cool.
here.
And
Yeah.
again, that NASCAR.
They
some
actually
of the best
dropped off.
fucking weed.
Do
Do you have NASCAR?
I do have NASCAR. I have 4 of their strains. No, what other strains do we have from Royal
Dolce,
Leaf?
I think they have.
Just look it up in the computer.
Yeah, I think they have Dolce, but like, dude, legit, that NASCAR, some of the best
Yeah,
weed I've
NASCAR.
smoked in a while.
Yeah, NASCAR.
Yeah, that was the one I showed you.
Yeah, they're dialed in with NASCAR. You definitely could tell that
Yeah.
they've
They had this Trop Cookies type one that was really good too. That was like some different name, but I was like, this is very good Trop
We
Cookies.
took in 4, I
Sorry.
think. Maple Leaf was a good one.
Maple Leaf.
Carbon
Carbon
was
fiber,
gas.
yeah.
Yeah. Triple cake.
Triple cake.
In NASCAR, yeah.
You know what's funny too is I do see. I just smoked Golden Garden stuff because that's like Capital Region's my processor, so I always see
Yeah.
their stuff.
Yeah.
And they do like that. And they had like blue sushi and all these things, and it's so good. But
Yeah.
it's like so funny to me where like everyone's growing all of those strains.
Same strains, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think you got
I get it.
I get it, but
Because you
know,
want to grow something that people will buy and consistency when you're growing. You're buying
yeah,
genetics.
and I think it's got a lot to do with like, all right, let me one up these people, let me one up them, but don't do that.
But that's not what they're doing. They're like,
Yeah.
they're saying I'm gonna one up, but they're getting the same shit.
Yeah,
You know?
I think it's very hard to get genetics right now.
Yeah.
When I stopped growing, people were very forthcoming with genetics. They were very like, let me help my neighbor, let me help my
Yeah.
my fellow grower.
That fucking turns so fast.
So you're trading genetics, and like that doesn't exist anymore. People are like safeguard.
Gatekeepers.
Yeah, they're gatekeepers, safeguarding genetics, and I get it. Because everybody's like, well, if I give it to this guy, then I'm not going to be the one with it. But in my experience, it helped everything. Like it drive the industry as far as like small batch growing in this area, like who was going to grow the best stuff. Like you got to cut, I got to cut, we all got to cut. Let's see who grows the best.
Well, what's funny too
you
is
create
that
a competition.
Well, we always are like when we've sold weed, especially when you've grown it, you're not selling eighths
Yeah,
usually.
yeah. You're usually selling pounds. Yeah.
Did you see that transition when you did the store? When you were like,
So-
I'm selling it to like the people
It's
buying
funny-
eighths.
it's funny you say that.
not selling,
Yeah.
and they usually don't haggle you as much.
No, they
You know
don't.
what I mean?
No.
Like, that's what I really like.
We sell ounces, but
But still, it's like it's end consumer. That person
The
buying
end
that ounce
consumer.
isn't going to sell it.
they're not going to break it down. So,
Right.
No, we're end consumer, and that was something new for me because I usually didn't sell to the end consumer. I did in my early days, allegedly a couple knock
Yeah,
spots
allegedly.
here and there, but
Mhm.
yeah, allegedly. But what I will say is that when I made orders, specific people like the vendors, like when I make orders with them, especially specifically for half ounces and ounces, they would always ask me like, why are you ordering 4 at a time or 8 at a time, 16 at a time,
Yeah.
32 at a time? And I'm like, subconsciously I don't know. Like, and they're like, everybody else is ordering 10 or 20 or 5 or, like weird numbers. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm ordering a pound. Just like, can I get 16 ounces real quick? Like, can I get 32 half ounces real quick? Like,
Yeah, let me get
can we
400
just
dime bags.
like, could this just be easy real quick? Yeah, like, can I just yeah. So, and then can I get a discount too? Because I'm
Yeah.
buying a couple pounds. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
no,
I
just
talk
kidding.
about it a lot in the pod. I enjoy so much what I'm doing out here now more because it's not like I'm creating brand finding products for like a nurse.
Yeah.
Or like someone who's like driving the bus, especially at my price point.
Yeah.
And I fucking love it, dude. And it's
So-
and not a lot of people are doing it.
No.
And
Everybody's-
they're like, oh, I'm gonna have the best weed, the best price, or like the most expensive. And like, dude, when I first started selling weed back in the day, I was like, that's what you would do. You'd be the weed guy.
Yeah.
And you like get their weed for the week because like they had nowhere else to get it, and you're
Yeah.
like a comfortable guy. They like
No.
your energy, and then it just turned into something crazy. And it
Yeah.
was like we're all hustling. Now I feel like I'm back to it, and it's
Yeah.
fun.
And to play on that, we see people every day. Like
Yeah.
we have everyday people.
So
They
many
come in
different
for a
types of
joint
people.
a day.
Yeah,
Like they just
they'll
that's
come
what
back
they
and get
do.
another one that day.
Sometimes, or they'll just like
That's
same
always gotta
time
be a
every
trip,
day.
though.
They're buying a joint.
Yeah,
They're like, and we'll say to them like, you don't want to buy like a pre-roll pack. They're like, no, I just want one joint.
yeah.
You know, and that's the type of person you're dealing with. You know, and then there's other people that come in and buy a couple ounces. You know, and they're you see them every week or two. You
Yeah.
know, so different. I'm not gonna say that. That's probably inappropriate. But anyways,
Dude,
you know,
it's fun though,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I like super enjoy it.
It's
and
like it's like the car business. There's
Yep.
a behind for every seat.
There you go.
So
There
yeah,
you go.
Yeah, that's PG, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
PG.
Yeah.
YouTube won't shut us down, dude. We'll cut it up for Instagram.
Yeah.
And dude, we're pretty clean right now. I got blue checks everywhere on my Instagram somehow.
Yeah, that's
it's
good.
fucking sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
fun.
I think we
It-
just got a blue check too.
Who knows how long it'll last though, dude. We just did one with Stage 1 and
Yeah.
they I think because we tagged Stage 1, like it didn't work. And then all of a
can't
sudden
tag.
a week ago they're fucking it wasn't us. But like their fucking Instagram went down.
Shadow band, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
You don't tag me.
I,
Don't at me. Don't none of that.
I'm just gonna act
I take
Latham Bagels, dude.
I actually I take pride in our social media. You know,
Yeah.
we've gained quite a following, and in the
you gotta
beginning,
keep it clean.
Yeah, yeah. If you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's why we just what's been cool is like when we do the bacon, egg, and cheese reviews and even have those discussions.
Yeah.
People get it, which I was
Yeah.
like, "Oof," I don't have to be like, hey, I'm in the bakery. I
Yeah.
have blunts in here.
Yeah.
It's more of like, check out this bacon, egg, and cheese. It's down the street from the bakery. We even
Yeah.
have, don't say dispensary anymore.
Yeah.
Or like any of these things. And it fucking, thank God it works, dude.
Yeah.
Because like people like DM us like, oh, go to this spot. It's right by this
Yeah.
dispensary. And I'm like, sweet, it works.
Yeah.
So I think people can get more creative with it, and like we're talking about branding
Yeah.
and everything.
I think you'll start to see, because like, obviously you're gonna have to see it federally legal first before, social media like Instagram, Facebook,
Yeah.
those places allow you to post, regularly.
It's a political thing though too. Look at Twitter. Like Twitter's like you're able to do mad shit, but like
You're able to
no
do-
one's really doing well on Twitter in the weed space, but you
Yeah.
can do it all there.
Yeah.
So what
and
does that even mean?
that's- Well, it's because I'm not a Twitter guy.
Me
Never
either.
was. Never was. We tried it, didn't like it. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm an Instagram guy. I'm a
Yeah.
visual guy. I want to see pictures. I want to
Yep.
see reels. I want to see action. I want to see people doing stuff. And we had like a learning curve in the beginning with our social media. We got shadow banned right from the beginning because we were posting things that we weren't saying cannabis or we weren't saying weed or anything like that, but we were posting things that had like THC on them or something like that.
Well, they legit have people going through them.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's why like even with that one with Stage 1, like they must have like somehow like the algorithm is like insane, like how they like try to pick you
You
out.
can't tag people, man.
Yeah.
You just can't. You
Yeah.
can't. Not in the reels, not in the posts.
Yep.
You can't do a location. I think it boils down to they don't want you like trying to sell something on their platform. You can post it because it's free speech,
Which is
right?
funny because we like give them money to like look at us. We're reviewing a bacon, egg, and cheese
Well, that's the other thing.
in a lot.
Yeah.
Take my money.
I think that's the other thing too. If you're not paying for stuff, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we did realize that paying for the verification on
Yeah.
makes a difference.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
a business.
It's all a. You said it.
Yeah.
It's a money grab.
Uh-huh.
They're like, well, it's
Yeah.
the green tax.
Yeah.
So
Oh my god, I just learned that was these banks, bro.
yeah, the green tax.
Sucks.
Banks. I'm not gonna get too off the record. I'll
Off
give
the record,
I'll
we'll
give you
talk
some
banks.
advice. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Not on air though.
No,
Can't do that.
we
That's
will-
not.
we will
That's
edit
not.
that
That's
out.
not. That's not. good.
Timestamp, edit out.
Yeah.
We will legit edit that out.
Yeah. Yeah. But we will talk
I had to
about.
deal with shit this morning.
Yeah, we will talk about banks, and I have a
Yeah.
very good one for you.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I
very
can't
good.
wait.
Good people, honest.
what we need.
You know what's going on. Yeah, honesty.
Thank you.
Honesty's key, man.
Yes.
So,
That's what I'm learning with this shit, dude.
but
And
let me touch on your pre rolls. We sell them as mostly as an add-on
yep.
at that price point. I
Yep.
know we kind of steered off of that, but I wanted to touch back on that. Is
Oh.
we sell a lot of them. And we sell them at that price point because it's an add-on.
Yeah.
And people, you give people an opportunity to try something that they normally wouldn't try.
Yeah.
You know, when you're selling stuff at like $15, $20 a joint or $15, $20 a blunt, it's just like they're like, nah.
It becomes a
I
luxury
spent another,
item.
and it's one blunt, it's one joint. You know, that's like, you know,
It's tough to like as a consumer go into somewhere and like buy a pre-roll, like one smoke experience
Yeah.
for like $15 to $20. It's kind of tough. And like even again, like for us, like selling that pre-roll doesn't canoe on you. You're on the go. You could literally walk with that.
I mean,
thing.
$10 is a sweet spot for
Yeah.
for joints and for blunts.
There's no blunt in the market that's $10.
No, they're all over. And honestly, there's no. I think I have joints that are $10, and they're grams, but
Yeah.
and they sell pretty well too. But
There's
the
joints
idea-
everywhere though.
The idea behind a $10 joint or $10 blunt is you're like a dime bag, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
throw that on top.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We don't sell dime bags here, just for the record.
And the cool that you know a lot of people do, which is fucking crazy. A lot of people do.
I think they do well. I think a lot of places do well with them. We just
But that's not really what you're interested in.
no.
What are you interested in when you buy something?
like
And I'm talking about product, not just good
product?
weed. Like what intrigues you when like someone comes in to try to sell you a product?
Small-
Not just good weed.
small
Put
batch.
the good weed aside.
Small batch. I want to know quality. Quality over everything, and your COA.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was more like
I'm hitting. You know, QR codes.
Yep.
You know,
Making sure it's all up to date.
yeah, and we let some things slide, and there's other things that are an absolute no. You
Right.
know, and I'm not gonna touch on that because I don't want, you know, to give away, you know, our recipe to our menu, but you know,
There is a recipe.
there is
that
a
people can
recipe,
use.
and there's a recipe, and there's a method to the madness,
And people need to create their own recipes. Is how you're going to be successful.
you have to curate
when it
your
comes to
own.
small batch too. And like,
Yeah.
you're a small batch dispensary.
Yeah.
Think about it like that.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever like told you that?
You know, yeah, we're a small place. I think we're 550 square feet. I think our retail floor is 140 square feet, 160 square feet. We got
You do it right.
Three registers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 display
Great
cases.
staff.
2 bud bars. Great staff. My staff is
That's everything.
Yeah, staff is everything. You know, I got good people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, more, and they're all educated. They all went to school, certificates, 3,000 hours of schooling,
Wow.
accredited. You know, all online, of course. I didn't have to like go like
But
sit
still,
in the classroom, but
no one does that. Good for you.
but more importantly, not besides the education, they're good people.
Yeah.
I got good people here, man. Good people, responsible, and they share the same vision I have. Good weed, good people, good product, and they care about what they put in their bodies and their lungs as we want our customers to do the same thing. And I think the more educated that consumers get, you'll find that menus like mine will be the ones that outlast the others. And I'm not, you know, I don't want to be cocky or arrogant or anything.
You don't have to be.
No, I just want. The more educated that the consumer is, the better off everybody is, right? And the better off that the grower is going to be, the one that's growing the good weed, right? Because if that consumer's educated on good weed, and I don't mean like, oh, it smells good, oh, it tastes good. I mean like, what's it doing for you?
Yeah.
How you feeling after you smoke it?
Yeah.
You know, like that's what I mean. Like, are you dialed in enough to like, no, this is going to hit home. This is going to not cure, that's the wrong word, is, you know, you have some ailments, whatever it may
Yep.
be, anxiety, you know, you want to go party, you want to,
Yep.
you know, you don't want to fall asleep. Like,
That's why we call it weed like enhancers.
Enhancers,
So like, what are
yeah.
you doing? So
Yeah,
it's
what are
going
you
to
doing?
enhance those
Yeah.
experiences. Everyone's always like
Yeah.
indica, sativa, and
Yeah.
I'm always like, dude, like all weed is hybrids these days.
Yeah.
That's why it was really cool to get that train wreck. Certain strains aren't. You know what I
That's a-
mean?
yeah,
that's sativa.
that's a sativa. Durban
Right.
poison.
Yeah, Durban poison. If you get like some hazes, like that's a sativa.
Most OG Kushes are indicas, but there is some
You can learn a lot from essential oils. This is what I try to
Yeah,
tell people.
that's
So if you're
good,
into
yeah.
essential oils,
what you got from the CBD aspect.
exactly,
Of things. Yeah, yeah.
citrus,
Yeah.
stuff like that is
Yeah.
uplifting.
Yeah.
Most purple weed is
Is-
what? Indica
Yeah.
leaning,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or at least gonna mellow you out, just like lavender does.
Yeah.
It's the colors, it's the smells,
Yeah.
it's your the taste of the
Yeah.
terpenes. All the senses are what it is.
And it's-
So we always try to encourage people with that. It's like, Let's
smell
not
this.
talk indica and
Yeah.
sativa.
Yeah.
But talk to me.
How do you want to feel? That's one of the main
What are you
questions.
doing with it?
It's one of the main questions we ask when people come in. We do hit them with the sativa indica hybrid because a lot of the consumers know that.
That's education.
And then after the fact, we're like, well, they're like, maybe a hybrid, maybe a sativa or an indica. But then we're like, well, how do you want to feel?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What do you want to experience? And then you go into that's where the education comes in. You know
You know what I like about you too, Mike, is that like you are like an OG in this. I could tell.
No.
I've learned OGs 10 years in.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double OG, 20 years in. Triple OG,
I
30
planted my
years
first seed in a clear solo cup when I was 13 years old.
Nice.
I'm 39, so I don't know
All
what
right.
that makes me.
in. You're a double OG, brother.
Yeah.
Double O.
I wouldn't consider myself an OG because I don't feel like I'm old. I feel
You're like,
I'm
no.
really I'm not that old. You know what I mean?
Sorry about that, brother.
Yeah, thank you. You just aged me.
You started at 15, you know?
But
13.
13, there you go.
13.
You got me by 2.
First seed in a clear plastic, it wasn't good. And that gets hit. No, it wasn't good. And I think it was like it was a beaner from an Arizona mids bag.
Doty.
Doty.
Remember
yeah,
Doty?
Yeah. The Airy.
Doty pack.
Yeah.
A Doty brick.
One of them, we got one of them tiger stripe seeds, and we were like,
Hell
"Oh
yeah.
my god!
Like, no way.
Let's go! We're
Yeah.
rich!"
Yeah.
And then
We could
boom.
grow our own.
I think it got like this big and went boom.
Yep.
Stuck it in the windows. It was
That's
just
what's
like,
so funny about East Coast shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't get it up light. We don't know what happened. We forgot to order it because we were stoned.
I moved to the
know.
Bay in 09, and like it was so different. Because we went to not Oaksterdam. What was Oaksterdam's dispensary called? I don't remember, but we go like Berkeley Patients Group out there
wow.
too, and there's like all these like
CBCDs.
I don't remember.
That was a big one.
Yeah, but we would the Green Door in San Francisco, but these places
Yeah.
they're like selling these clones. And like I didn't even know about that because like coming from the East Coast, like you're selling weed and you didn't even really know what a pack was.
Yeah.
Like remember when like someone would call a pack or like California was like secret,
Yeah.
and now it's turned into a trendy thing and people want to tell you about it. And then
Yeah.
now if you have a Cali pack, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
How about spray packs? Can we touch on spray packs?
That's what everyone loves to talk about. That homies we were talking about before were loving talking about that. I actually am learning about spray packs.
Yeah.
And
Stay away.
remember that spray packs, this is what I'm like starting to understand about it, is a street term.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about packs recently. The
Yeah.
term pack
Yeah.
was shipped weed.
Yeah.
And that's
spray
not even
packs, that spray packs is not that.
is it terp infused?
It's terp infused.
You know what I mean? And then from what I remember from Terp Infused, and sorry if I've said this on a few podcasts, all I remember is when we were in Humboldt and like people would sell hundreds of pounds.
Yeah.
You sell last year's crop. So
Yeah.
we're already starting at what this is turning into.
Yeah.
You got trying to sell last year's crop. At the end of the day, a spray pack is trying to make something better than what it is.
yeah.
Because what my
Throwing-
friends would do
Throwing
is
some orange peels in the bag.
what they would
A little bit
do-
of bread.
tortilla.
Tortilla.
Yeah. They would put a little bit in the bottom. And then, because if they're looking into the bags, if it looked good, and then if it just smelled, they're like, all right, cool, 100 pounds. Like, and that shit worked.
Yeah.
That was 2014,
Yeah.
from what I remember. And then now I started like hearing about it. We actually have a podcast coming
That was the
out
Blueberry
in a
Dro
couple
days.
Purple Beasters.
Yeah, the purple beasters.
BC Beasters.
BC.
Yeah.
Awareness
See,
week.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing about like East Coast though. It's like
Yeah.
on the West Coast, it was so different. So when I
Yeah.
moved there, I was like just in
Do you-
just like.
Let me
turn-
ask you a question. Let me turn this
Talk
around.
to me.
Do you feel like there was more when you moved out there? Was
Yep.
there more education here in New York, or more education out there?
them by hundreds of miles.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
And I love the East Coast, and I love where I'm
what
from.
about like
but
the
it's
growers
true.
though?
The growers
Yeah.
out on the West Coast by hundreds
Crazy,
of
right?
miles.
Yeah, because they're able to do it all year round.
But there's a difference between West Coast and East Coast people.
Yeah.
Let's not talk even about weed right now.
Yeah, there's
Let's talk about
difference, yeah.
people.
Difference, yeah.
We were just talking about this, like grit.
And you used to be able to grow outdoor, and you could hide. That's you couldn't
Yeah.
hide that easy on the East Coast. That's why I was always fucking.
Yeah.
But I will
Like,
say
I would
this.
hide it
Yeah.
in my basement with hydros and lights.
Yeah.
I will.
Out there, you had trees. You could hide it. Like
Yeah.
Here's the
I'm always
thing.
gonna be sun.
Here's the thing about the East Coast and the West Coast from what I saw. There was more better weed on the West Coast at that time. But East Coast Sour Diesel, Haze.
Yeah. Speaking of Haze, Upstate Haze.
I will check that.
Shout
I'm
out.
a Piff connoisseur, so I will definitely
Shout
check that.
them out. Yeah.
Upstate Haze.
Yeah.
Shout out Upstate Haze.
Yeah.
And I'll shout them out more after I see their product.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a good one. Yeah.
I trust your opinion. You know
Yeah.
that. But here's the thing. There was better weed on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we took it from Cali to get it here.
They
Yeah.
bred it out there.
Yeah.
But there's better.
Money's here.
So that's funny. You're like almost making me like change my answer as I'm talking it out.
Yeah, because I kind of already knew what your answer was going to be.
Yeah, there's better. There's funny. There's like better growers on the East Coast,
You
but
know what
they're
we call
growing
that?
more consistently.
You know what we call that?
What?
It's called the Jedi mind trick. Ooh. You do exactly what I want you to do without you actually knowing that I want you to do
Man,
it.
do you just Qui-Gon me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You can edit that out.
You hit
I'm
me with that
sorry.
Obi-Wan?
I did. I'm so sorry.
No, but it's fun. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And do you know what's funny is that Haze and Sour,
Yeah.
best weed of all time. And
Yeah.
Sour, I will actually say this. I'm just a gas person. Whatever happened, I don't know. I'd love to talk to these
Is
people.
it true sour though?
But it's all chem crosses.
Yeah.
Whoever did that, whoever was in the mix, there's so
Yeah.
many stories.
Yeah.
All of them are
And it's
my
undisclosed.
favorites.
You don't even know what the strain is.
All of them are my favorites.
Yeah.
The sours, the chems,
Yeah.
all these different types of things. Those were my favorites.
Yeah.
And the hazes I like because I grew up with it.
Yeah.
I honestly, you ever have that friend that you're like, why would I don't know if I'd be friends with you if I didn't grow up with you.
Yeah. You gotta
Haze
feel-
is the weed for me.
Yeah.
I don't
If
know.
didn't grow
If
up
I
so-
didn't grow up smoking, I don't think I'd
It's
like
a distinct smell, distinct taste. Honestly,
It's all nostalgia.
Yeah, and it's a distinct feeling too because when you smoke haze, it's a totally different
And
feeling.
then it's an African haze. Is it NL5 haze? Is it like
upstate haze?
Like these strains are
Upstate New York haze.
sensitive, and that's how they
Yeah.
realize what.
I think it's the Latin community in the city.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to say anything more than that because I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what boroughs. I don't even know what, like people say, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, all these different types of things. I'm not from New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we grew up in a culture in Connecticut growing up where you'd have to know someone who knew someone that was from New
To
York.
get it, yeah.
And then that was just good weed. And what was the good weed? Haze and sour.
Yeah. Another one that I'll touch on too is Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue has been in this area specifically.
I just got that Gorilla.
The
Glue.
capital region, and that's not even the cut that we're used to around here. That's good, but
Is
that
that,
ain't
are you
it.
talking about the one that's more skunky?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like tarry,
Yeah.
like you can't even break it up.
Yeah.
That's like Gorilla.
Grease.
Yeah, it's literally like
The
you know.
effect on
we
that
used
shit
to
is so good.
allegedly we used to take Gorilla Glue and we would run washer machines and turn it into bubble hash.
Nice.
And it makes some great hash. The cut that we had, anyways. But you know, and then shout out to the West Coast Headband 818. That was one of the ones that we ran too, allegedly.
Me and my homies run
And that-
707
and-
headband allegedly.
Well, and the craziest part is like I see a lot of Gorilla Glue in here, and it's nothing like what we used to grow.
Yep.
And not saying that it's not good. I'm just saying like that's not it.
That's what's cool about like rare genetics.
Yeah.
Especially if you go from like the gases and then like the hazes, like, oh, you know, it's so funny because that brings me back to what we talked about the East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
It's almost like the East Coast.
Hey, stop fucking recording.
Oh,
No
did
way.
it? No.
That was all the good footage.
It just did.
Oh, it just did?
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Damn, I was
Yeah,
gonna say, go
iPhone
back to the
storage.
growers.
Yeah.
I think you gotta be a better all-around grower if you're gonna grow outside.
I've
First of
been-
all, it's
Yeah.
gonna be outside.
We're still running audio,
How
so
many
we're good.
hours?
We'll just finish it up on
I was
audio.
like, I was
You know, you got
watching
conditions.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
Cali's easy to grow outdoors in.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 days, it's sunny,
Yeah.
it's chill,
Hour
it
and
burns
20
off in the
minutes.
morning.
That's
Oh
good.
wow, that's a lot of content.
Here, you've got conditions here, and
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
got it off.
makes it.
It's
more
the people.
skilled. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the people. Dude, that's what I love out here, man. Because I like I dropped out of high school, moved out west, and like got fucking lucky, dude.
Yeah.
I had $400. I was living on my aunt's couch in Oakland,
Yeah.
and I literally
We're in the East Bay.
in Oakland. She lived in Rockridge,
Okay.
but then I grew 100 plants in 82nd and Plymouth,
Yeah, so
which was
I mean, if you went back out there right now, you'd still like it's every warehouse out there. All you smell is weed.
Yeah.
From the Bay Bridge to fucking San Jose to Richmond, where I was, like it's. Stupid.
you lived in Richmond.
Yeah, I was in Richmond at the end. I went out to Cali in fucking '98.
Sick.
Yeah, to strictly find a plug. And
Fuck
pull,
yeah.
Like rifle shots, fire ahead.
Uh-huh.
My boy, you know,
I was up in
you're
Willits for
going,
years
buddy,
too, dude. Yeah.
You're picking up. Like,
Yep.
You're in the woods, and then your tent, you're growing like that. That was the fun days, you know.
Uh-huh.
But that was actual weed to me. Like then you started taking all those cuts and strains, and they started coming down. You start putting it all indoor. That's
changes everything.
It changes everything.
Yeah.
There's genetics that I would love to bring here that you can't yet, because unless you go right inside to a perfect sitting, it's not going to be the same yield. It's not going to be the same taste.
Headband was like that too.
And I go as far to call indoor weed jail weed at this point, because I know if I was a plant, I love my plants. I want them outside. I want them having the sun. It doesn't mean I don't want a greenhouse and protect them. It means that's life for them. That's outside. That's how they get their flavor. And I hope that if you do start taking that back in the genetics, the plant can, come back to itself as opposed to all this cross.
I think it actually is.
Multiple crosses.
And that's happening on the East Coast.
Yeah.
That's why you like see some of the strains like, dude, we'll edit this out, but like because it's funny because I was excited to look at all the Rolling Green stuff, and I love it, and it's great weed, and I'm impressed.
Yeah, they're doing good shit.
For real.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's the same, similar with itself. You know what I mean?
It's all the same in the different jars.
So, but how are you going to do that when you run so many strains? How are you going to have so many different varieties? So it does make sense. So I'm not hating, but like that's one thing, and like I won't even say it because we are still recording. But like the one that I really wanted to look at, I wasn't as impressed as I thought I was going to be. The one that has the orange and black.
Yeah.
I wasn't as impressed as I wanted to be. And that was because of hype stuff.
So they actually
because it was similar to like some cake purple shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They have 4 other strains that just
the
aren't
OG
out.
or whatever.
Yeah. The OG's gas.
Yeah. It was so funny. I felt bad for your bud tender because he's like, we have OG. And I was like, you have OG? And I was like, sick, let me see it. And I smelt it immediately. I was like, that's not OG. And they're like, oh, look at it. Spelled. I was like, okay, it's not.
OG,
Yeah. I was like,
yeah.
and I had to look at myself in the mirror again and be like, don't do that, Paul.
Yeah.
You do not do that. Like, yeah. And
Be nice.
That's true.
Just shitty to you,
Yeah.
I know. No, I feel you. I did it. And
You
like,
know who's really dialed in right now is Lead Farmer.
yeah, no, that's what I keep hearing.
Mac 1, and they're about to release
Mac
their
1's
Trico.
another one. Another strain that if
Well,
like
it's
you have
Caps
it.
cut too.
It is?
Yeah. So
Okay.
he's dialed in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that running at?
Yeah, are we recording right now?
It's audio.
It's just audio.
But I'll edit it out.
Well, I was gonna show it to you.
Oh, that would be fucking awesome to put out. I could film it and give him B-roll.
Nah, I probably shouldn't,
Okay.
especially with this background.
I like how.
Oh
dude,
wow, I didn't want this in the background.
I could edit
You
it
were
out,
sitting in front of
You
it,
sure?
see
and
it.
I could blur it.
Yeah, blur that.
That's really not hard.
I can't believe that made it on. How the fuck did that make it on here?
No, you literally can't.
Dude, Case better give me some
You
free
can see
pre-rolls,
that,
dude.
Can you see this?
Oh no, the camera's pretty
You
low.
really can't see much in the background. It's really just you two are the focus.
You
No,
could
it's good
definitely
though,
see your
Sarah.
mommy. Can I see?
Is he not gonna want that? You think?
No, definitely. I'm gonna make him pay for it.
Yeah, I like
I'll
that.
duke you out.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Are we recording still?
We are.
Shoot.
We'll end it out. That's a great way to end, dude. I swear we love you, KC Umami. Breakfast Connections Podcast, The Bakery.
Yeah.
Peace. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming out, dude, for real.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. Thanks for having me.
That was so
Thank you.
sick. That was cool, though, man. You had fun with that, I could tell.
Yeah, I had fun.